Nikola Jokic got a big man battle on his hands, taking on Anthony Davis. It's the Nuggets in the crypt, take on the Lakers in the first. It's AD going at Jokic and winning the battle. But I want you to pay close attention to the ankle of Anthony Davis. It's kind of bounce off of Jokic's calf. AE would go to the back after his usual first quarter break, but he would come back. And in a second, Jokic takes advantage of him, goes right at the big fella. But then on the other end, it's Anthony Davis getting the deuce to go. And then LeBron James pulling up for three. The Lakers are up by 9, timeout Denver. Once that timeout was over, Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets went to work. It's the Joker inside to Aaron Gordon. And then Jokic, tip. I want you to watch Anthony Davis throughout this highlight because he is moving very gingerly. As you see, Aaron Gordon just open there. Something's not right with Davis. I remember calling this mid-game. As you can see, he's moving gingerly. LeBron is not moving gingerly. Off the mitts, it's the king down the lane. He throws it down. Can you believe this man has been playing basketball professionally for 20 seasons? At the half, we got a tight one. In the third, LeBron's still dunking, but he's dunking without his star teammate. AD did not make the trip out the locker room, out the half. More on him in a second. First off, it's Murray and the Nuggets going on a 12-1 run to take command of this basketball game. But AD's replacement, Thomas Bryant, was big. He goes to LeBron. And then Russell Westbrook was also big. His second triple-double of the season, 15, 11, and 12 for Brody. You know what LeBron gonna do? Just ball out. Lakers up by 7 in the fourth. It's Jamal Murray with the turnover and the throwdown. But then Murray's got to deal with Brody on the other end, and this was a tough, tall task in this game because Brody was everywhere making plays for himself and others. Bryant had 21. LeBron led everybody in scoring with 30. As Schroeder caps off this highlight with a dish to the king. It's the Lakers, who are usually bad in games where AD goes down with injury and leaves early. This time around, they get it done against the Nuggets, 126-108. If you have not done so, please make sure you subscribe to this channel at Hoops FERRO. Our goal is 100,000 subscribers, and we want to get there quickly. Subscribe now if you're enjoying content like this. So Anthony Davis is going to likely miss at least a month with a foot injury. You know, I feel really bad for the big fella. He really tried this year, y'all. He said he got tired of listening to guys like Charles Barkley call him street clothes. He really got tired, and he was balling out for the Lakers thus far this year. Had only missed a handful of games, which since Anthony Davis has been a Laker had not been the norm, especially since the bubble year. AD's been injury prone. He pretty much couldn't put together 5 straight games of playing basketball. That's been my running joke about AD. And look at what we got this year. Anthony Davis at his best, when this is supposed to be his rebound season after back-to-back subpar seasons to his standards, the best he could do is about 10 games straight. Pretty much 10 games is with Anthony Davis trying to rebound and prove to the world that he's still one of them. His body still gave out on him. I'm sorry, y'all. There is no way Anthony Davis can be a number 1 or number 2 on your team. He has digressed to a number 3 now. That's what he has to be. And like, I have been pretty vocal about how I believe the Lakers should run their offense through Anthony Davis, give him the ball down the stretch in the clutch. I've been vocal about that, right? But the reality is I can't blame LeBron for down the stretch still taking big shots, even if he doesn't make them. I can't blame guys over the years like a Kyle Kuzma for wanting to take those shots when he was a Laker. For Russell Westbrook now for wanting to take those shots down the stretch, make the play that the Lakers need to win or, if they or lose a game. I get it because oftentimes they're playing without AD. There is no way to gain rhythm and gain that type of chemistry needed when Anthony Davis keeps letting your team down. Every single year, AD lets this Lakers team down. And I tell people this all the time. For all my diehard Laker fans, y'all know your boy FERRO's not lying about this. Anthony Davis has had one healthy, great year as a Laker. Two really big things happened for AD to get through that 2019-2020 season in the bubble. Number one, there was a 4-month break dead center in the middle of the season because obviously COVID had a huge outbreak that struck the whole world. He had 4 months off. Even though he looked good all year that year, I'm not 100% sure AD would have been able to get through a postseason run if it was under a normal circumstance, no COVID. Second thing, in the bubble, nobody talks about this but me. I'm the only person that I hear talk about this. Anthony Davis's body was breaking down in the finals against Miami. Nobody talks about that, but it is the truth. By game 4, Anthony Davis was limping around the finals. To be honest with you, LeBron really carried the Lakers down the stretch of that series against Jimmy Butler and the Heat. Anthony Davis made that series a lot closer than it had to be because of his body breaking down. If that series would have went to a 7th game, or let's say this, if they were in the conference finals and not the NBA finals, I'm not so sure AD makes it another round. And that's in the bubble with no travel, just basketball. This dude's not playing into his late 30s. I'm not so sure he's going to be able to play into his early 30s. Well, let me phrase this correctly. He's going to probably collect a paycheck on somebody's roster, but I don't believe he's going to be available at what he will be making. If you're the Lakers, you got to try to find a way to move on from him. It won't be easy. You had a 2-week stretch this year where obviously for those who don't know, when you've signed a contract in the offseason, typically around the top of December is when it's the first opportunity for free agents that signed the previous offseason to be traded. So there was a 1-week window, 2-week window where about 95% of the league was available for trade, and Anthony Davis was playing great basketball. So the reality is the Lakers probably should have tried to deal him then when he was playing good basketball, really good, great basketball, and the league was pretty much all available to be traded. The Lakers probably should have tried to force a trade then. They did not, and here we are. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if Anthony Davis doesn't return before All-Star break. Wouldn't be surprised one bit. I was going to buy my mom-in-law tickets to see the Lakers play in the upcoming weeks, and I said, Something told me, and this is before AD got hurt against the Nuggets, something said, just don't do it. Don't do it. And sure be it, Anthony Davis goes down, and LeBron just is kind of 50-50 on games nowadays. If he plays great, but oftentimes he just picks what games he's going to play. And for me, I just don't want to risk it. For a road game, them tickets to see LeBron, how costly they are, nah, I ain't going to do it. Anthony Davis going down again is a bummer for the Lakers and their hopes to be somewhat relevant this year. They were well on their way with the way AD was playing to being a 7 seed, somewhere around there. They would have been somewhere in the play-in tournament, but at least they would have had a bye in the play-in tournament this year. That's not the case now with AD. This season probably is pretty much over. Again, another wasted year for LeBron. Now all he really has is chasing Kareem's scoring title because the Lakers, for all intents and purposes, are done.